Welcome to Wrestling Sphere, the place where WWE's most unforgettable moments live on. In the world of wrestling, nothing is more thrilling than the referee counting to 3, then suddenly stopping at 2.9. A perfectly timed shoulder lift can send the crowd into a frenzy and completely turn the match around. Today, we're counting down the top 10 wrestlers with the most dramatic shoulder lifts, those nail-biting kickouts that leave fans breathless and glued to the screen. Number 10. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins stands out not only for his refined technique and incredible endurance but also for a rare sense of timing, a skill only the elite wrestlers possess. He knows exactly when to come alive during a match, and those last-second shoulder lifts have become a signature move. Throughout countless high-profile bouts, from WrestleMania to major pay-per-views, Rollins often finds himself backed into a corner. The opponent delivers the finishing blow, the referee counts 1, 2, and just as the hand is about to hit the mat for the third count, Rollins dramatically lifts his shoulder. It's more than reflex, it's an art of pacing, tricking the crowd into believing the match is over before exploding into cheers with the unexpected save. During the period when Rollins used the pedigree as his finisher, he pulled off many memorable kickouts. He even absorbed the very move himself from savvy opponents who countered him, and just when everyone thought he was done for, his shoulder rose again like a man returned from the dead. Rollins' shoulder lifts aren't just technical moves, they're moments that hold fans' hearts captive, keeping the fire of emotion burning until the very last second. Number 9. Sami Zayn, shoulder lifts that tell a story. Sami Zayn doesn't rely on flashy or frequent shoulder lifts to send the arena into a frenzy. What sets him apart is his ability to control the crowd's emotions through perfectly timed and placed kickouts. Zayn doesn't just escape the pinfall, he makes it part of the story he's weaving in the ring. Sometimes Zayn lifts his shoulder with fierce determination, as if pushing back against the world. Other times, he barely inches it up just enough to force the referee to stop the count, leaving the audience gasping in disbelief. He knows exactly where the match stands, when to take a temporary defeat, and when to explode and turn the tide. Even more unforgettable are those moments when Zayn lies exhausted on the mat, nearly spent, only to draw strength from the roaring crowd. That's when his shoulder lift becomes more than just a kickout, it's a declaration to the world, "I'm still here." Zayn's escapes aren't mere survival instincts. They're how he turns what looks like a definitive pin into the opening chapter of an even fiercer battle. Number 8. AJ Styles. When a shoulder lift becomes a masterpiece. AJ Styles is not just a talented wrestler. He's a master at turning every shoulder lift into a dramatic moment on the ring stage. He convinces the crowd that this is it, only for that very shoulder to rise at the last possible second, striking a deep emotional chord with the audience. Styles carries a calm, calculated demeanor. His kickouts are never random, each one is a strategic choice. What sets AJ apart is his uncanny ability to raise his shoulder in the blink of an eye, almost precisely as the referee's hand is about to hit the mat for 3. It's like a finely honed survival instinct, perfected over time. One of the most unforgettable moments came when Styles escaped a pin after an attitude adjustment from the top rope, an almost unbelievable feat, and he didn't do it just once, but twice, leaving the crowd stunned and then roaring with excitement each time. AJ Styles excels not only in high-flying moves and technical prowess but also as a psychological tactician. His shoulder lifts are what keep matches far from dull, sustaining breathless intensity right up to the final second. Number 7. Shawn Michaels, wrestling's born kickout artist. Shawn Michaels isn't just a wrestler, he's a storyteller with his body, his eyes, every fall, and especially those perfectly timed shoulder lifts that make arenas hold their breath. Known as the showstopper, Michaels turns every match into a vivid performance, where every second and every count is a suspenseful chapter in a larger tale. His ability to take and sell moves was already legendary, but what fans remember most are those moments when it seemed all was lost. A sudden sweet chin music from the opponent, the referee's count begins, 1, 2, and Michaels' shoulder rises like magic. The crowd leaps to their feet, hardly believing their eyes. What makes Michaels special is his knack for picking up the pace at just the right moment, elevating the match to a thrilling climax. He doesn't just absorb punishment, he makes the audience feel like they are enduring it alongside him. This perfect blend of drama and instinct makes his kickouts never boring, always delivering a fresh jolt of surprise, even for fans familiar with the story. Number 6. The Rock, escaping the count like a true icon. The Rock isn't just a name that stands for power. He embodies explosive emotion in every moment inside the ring. Throughout his legendary career, he's pulled off count-out escapes that shook the entire arena, making fans believe the Great One was down for good, only to witness him dramatically spring back to life in an instant. What makes The Rock's shoulder lifts so memorable is the atmosphere that surrounds them. Right after dodging finishing moves like the Rock Bottom or People's Elbow, the crowd erupts in cheers like a tidal wave sweeping across the arena. They're not just celebrating his survival, they're caught up in the raw emotional surge of that very moment. However, one reason The Rock sometimes ranks lower in lists like this is his habit of watching the referee's hand to time his shoulder lifts. Although this technique is common, for a performance artist of his caliber, it can occasionally diminish the natural surprise and spontaneity that make these moments so electrifying. Still, there's no denying that The Rock's kickouts are a vital part of WWE's most thrilling finishes. He personifies the ultimate comeback in the final seconds, pure Brahma Bull spirit. Number 5. Roman Reigns, the cold, calculated kickout leader. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, head of the table, dominates WWE not only with authority and strength but also through perfectly timed, dramatic shoulder lifts. During his reign as champion, Roman has repeatedly taken fans from despair to exhilaration with a single, simple move, lifting his shoulder at the very last moment. Roman fights like he's scripted each referee count. Sometimes, he stays almost motionless, letting his opponent believe victory is theirs. But then, boom! His shoulder snaps up, cold, sudden, and decisive. This calmness is his psychological weapon. It throws opponents off balance and leaves the audience breathless. A fascinating detail is Paul Heyman, his loyal advocate, who shows genuine terror whenever Reigns is pinned. Heyman's reactions add fuel to the fire, making each count feel more intense than ever. Roman is also skilled at using dirty tactics, especially those quick, desperate kicks to sensitive areas to escape pins, followed by instant counters. Yet, like The Rock, he tends to glance at the referee's hand to time his kickouts, a small quirk that holds him back from ranking higher among the most legendary count escapes. Number 4. John Cena, the icon of never giving up. John Cena, a name synonymous with the motto "Never Give Up," isn't just a hero to millions of fans. He's also a machine when it comes to kicking out of some of the most brutal finishing moves. Cena has faced countless monsters in WWE, yet he always rises, sometimes with just a simple shoulder lift, to prove he's far from done. What makes Cena's shoulder lifts stand out isn't just technique but emotion. The audience knows he won't go down easily, but every time he escapes a pin, they erupt with the same excitement as if seeing it for the first time. He kicks out decisively and clearly, like shouting to the world, "I'm still fighting." Unlike some wrestlers who barely raise their shoulder or delay to build suspense, Cena lifts his shoulder sharply and high enough for even the fans in the farthest seats to see. This not only keeps the match flowing smoothly but also shows transparency, a trait that defines Cena both inside and outside the ring. Love him or hate him, one thing is undeniable: Cena embodies resilience. His kickouts aren't just physical moves, they're a survival message to every opponent: "You haven't beaten me yet." Number 3. Brock Lesnar, the cold, precise kickout machine. Brock Lesnar isn't just a whirlwind of power, he's a master of razor-close shoulder lifts that keep fans on edge. Lesnar's matches are carefully crafted battles, where every strike and pin attempt feels terrifyingly real. So when Lesnar gets pinned after a heavy move, people truly believe the Beast might be down for good. What makes Lesnar's kickouts unforgettable is his perfect chemistry with Paul Heyman. No one panics more dramatically than Heyman, the stunned face, hair-pulling hands, pleading eyes as the referee counts 1, 2. Then, the instant Brock lifts his shoulder, Heyman seems reborn. It's not just a kickout, it's a flawless survival performance. Unlike many wrestlers who sneak peeks at the referee's hand to time their shoulder lifts, Brock trusts his instincts. He waits for the exact moment the ref's hand nearly hits the mat the third time, then twists his body up, quick, strong, and without hesitation. For Lesnar, kicking out isn't just defense, it's part of the survival instinct of a true dominator. Number 2. Kurt Angle, the master of edge-of-your-seat kickouts. Kurt Angle is the embodiment of perfection in professional wrestling, and this shines through in the way he escapes 3-count pins. Anyone who's watched Angle in action knows one thing: You can't breathe easy until you hear the final bell. Because Kurt always pulls the audience into a whirlwind of emotion with his slow-motion kickouts, as if the whole world pauses for a moment. Angle doesn't kick out on instinct. He does it with calculation. Sometimes, the moment he lifts his shoulder is barely a heartbeat away from the referee's third hand slap. Once, he left the entire arena in stunned silence for 2.99 seconds before suddenly springing up, as if lifted by sheer willpower. During the ruthless aggression era, producers even advised Kurt to tone down his risk-taking. He'd wait so close to the wire that referees often had to improvise to save the match, because if he delayed his shoulder lift even half a second, the match would end unexpectedly. But that's Kurt's signature. He doesn't play it safe. He turns every 3 count into a tense drama where the crowd holds its breath, wondering if the Olympic hero still has life left or if it's finally time to give up. Number 1. The Undertaker, the king of defying fate with kickouts. No one owns the art of dramatic kickouts quite like the Undertaker. He doesn't just lift a shoulder, he breathes life into every near-ending moment. Anyone who has watched the dead man at WrestleMania knows the heart-pounding thrill as the referee counts 2.5, 275, then suddenly, not 3. Undertaker rises, slow, haunting, igniting the arena with a mix of shock and exhilaration. Despite his legendary 21-0 WrestleMania streak, no match was ever easy. After brutal finishers like Tombstone, Superkick, Pedigree, or F5, the crowd believed the streak would finally end. Yet, Undertaker always raised his shoulder, as if he were immortal not just in storyline but in the very spirit of WWE. Part of Undertaker's allure is his masterful control over time and space in the ring. He never kicks out too early, nor too late to risk losing. Every shoulder lift sends the audience into an emotional frenzy, because they're not just watching a match, they're witnessing a legend preserving his legacy. And those razor-close, breathtaking kickouts wrote the immortal tale known as the WrestleMania streak. A kickout, a move that takes less than a second but can completely change the course of a match, rewrite its ending, and create wrestling legends that live on through time. From The Undertaker's breathtaking kickouts at WrestleMania to Paul Heyman's startled reactions when Brock Lesnar rises, these moments are more than just technique. They're art, psychology, and the spark that sends the crowd into a frenzy. So, who do you think has the most unforgettable 3-count kickout ever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit like if you've ever shouted at the screen because of a kickout, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on more exciting videos. Because in the WWE world, every match could be the last, until someone kicks out at 2.999 seconds.